You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona.
Hi! Welcome! Oh my God, it's been what? A year? I've been on hiatus for a year, yes. I have so many emails and phone calls and people wondering when we're coming back. But I'm telling you, I've been doing this show for 20 years, as everybody knows, first on Adelphia Cable and then on LA Talk Radio for 15 years. And I needed a mental break. I was like, oh my God, they had the COVID and then there was this and then there was that. And I was mentally exhausted. I said, I'm going to refresh. I'm hitting the reset button, but we are back. Very first show of the new year 2024. So let's get into it. As you should know, I'm Priscilla Leona, and this is Question Reality Radio Show. And I'm the creator, the producer, and the host. You know how we're all multi-titled these days? Well, those are my titles. And along with Albert Michael, who is the executive producer, he likes that title, and the technical director, we are coming to you as we will be live from Los Angeles, California. And just in case you haven't tuned in before, we're back, and I decided to keep the current platform. I'm going to keep the platform. However, I might be changing it next year to be more inclusive of other types of professions. But right now, as you know, for over 20 years, we have been providing our listeners with entertainment industry career advice. Now, this show is for you if you are questioning your career reality. And that means if you are pursuing a career in the entertainment industry, or if you're already working in the entertainment industry and you just need some tips, advice, or resource information about how to elevate your career status. Now, you want to know who are some of the guests on the show? I'd want to know. Okay. Some of the guests include, we have Emmy winners, we have Grammy winners, we have Tony Award winners, we have reality TV stars, just a wide variety of working professionals. And they also include film, television, music, and radio producers and directors. We have casting directors, we have agents, we have literary agents, we have, PR agents. I'm flipping a page, that's why I'm doing that. I don't have a nervous tick or anything. I had to rewrite my intro out. It's been so long. We have talent managers, we have publicists, we have screenwriters, we have authors and novelists, singers, actors, of course, our favorites, comedians, script supervisors, we have stunt people, celebrity makeup artists, and every year around December, we bring on an entertainment attorney. Everybody aspires to be able to hire an entertainment attorney. And if you're doing well, you'll need an entertainment attorney. Now, we are, basically, if they're working in the entertainment industry, we invite everyone to come on our show and promote themselves or the products and just give sage advice to people who are aspiring or starting out or want to make that career change. Nobody wants to work a 9-to-5 anymore, do they? We've got spoiled with staying home, working. We don't want to go in the office anymore. Boo! Now, if you missed any of our past shows, here are some of the ways that you can watch them or listen to them. I have a combination of video interviews and also audio interviews. So you can, number one, you can go to the YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is, now, before I say this is going to incorporate my first tip, which is branding. When you're first starting out, someone will tell you, keep your name consistent on all your social media profiles, your website, if applicable, but you should keep it all the same. You don't want to do any of those cutesy things like bunnybumblebee at gmail.com, and then another one, I am a rabbit from 1987. You don't want to do that. So many people do not understand branding, their own branding. They don't understand how they may switch careers, and it's not going to be cute when you're in your 30s and 40s and you have to switch email addresses. And the more you have to switch and you have to change, you get lost and people can't find you. So keep it consistent. So here's what we did. YouTube channel. You can watch us on my YouTube channel, which is at Priscilla Leona. Oh, it's my name. I branded it. Okay. Also, my profile Facebook page, which, guess, Priscilla Leona. And the main Facebook page. Now, that, of course, is the name of our radio show, which is at Question Reality Radio Show. The website is questionrealityradioshow.com. And we're also on LinkedIn and TikTok at what? At Priscilla Leona. Yeah, so branding. That's my personal tip for tonight. And then also we ask that you do us a little favor. If you like our show and you like our guests, we ask that you subscribe to our channel or give us at least a little thumb. Who does not need a little thumb reading? We all need a thumb. We need a little thumb. And we'll return the favor. We have someone that goes through and sees people who have liked us and subscribed, and then we subscribe back. It's only fair, right? Now, lastly, I want to tell you about how to get booked on our show. If you want to be booked on our entertainment industry advice show, or if you want to refer someone to promote themselves, showcase their products, and help listeners just providing advice for other people starting out, go to our official website. Again, it's questionrealityradioshow.com, questionrealityradioshow.com. And that's where you submit to be booked on our show. It's super easy, very quick. All you need to do is click the contact link, and we need your name, your email, your title, website. That is it. So easy. All right. Now, also, you can go there and check out the 2024 guest schedule. That's where you can see who the upcoming guests are. And we put their career titles on there. So, for example, if you want to be a script supervisor, you might want to scroll through and say, oh, we've got John Doe, who's a script supervisor. I want to listen to him because he might have great tips and advice. So there you go. And that's the end. We finally come to the end. Believe it or not, I have shortened my show introduction. It used to be a lot longer because we were with another platform. So, of course, we had to advertise them. Now for the fun part. Yeah. This is the best part for me. Introducing the guests. Now, today we have Mr. Sexy himself, Antonio McKay. He was booked on our show by Beatrice Davis. She is a PR agent, among other things. She's multi-hyphenated. We love B. She booked him on our show. We were so excited that he agreed to come on. Now, before we talk to him, I just want to give you all of his titles so you can go and follow him. I see here that he is very aware of branding. It melts my heart when people do this. Okay, his social media sites are, you can find him on IMDB.com at Antonio McKay. Check. He's on Instagram at AntonioMcKayOfficial. It's his official page. He's on Facebook at Antonio McKay. Also on YouTube. Basically, type him in Google. You will find Antonio all over the place. He is there, and we are happy that he's there. Now, he's on our show. He's here to promote his series. It's called, now I hope I don't butcher this. You know I cannot speak foreign languages, but I'm going to just try. Okay, it's Sangre Negra or Sangre Negra or Sangra Negra. It basically means black blood. So we'll have him pronounce it properly. I apologize for butchering that. Now, Antonio McKay stars as a mob leader. Love this title. Are you ready for this? Pretty Ricky Santos. Say no more. I'm seeing him on an episode of Boardwalk or The Sopranos. I'm seeing it. I love it. Now, the series is currently streaming on Amazon and also on Tubi TV network. And I understand there are some more episodes that are going to be streaming. So here's the exciting part. Without further ado, let's bring Antonio McKay on. Sexy, pretty Ricky. So wait, I can love it. Pretty Ricky Santos. Antonio.
Priscilla, how are you? Priscilla.
Antonio. Now, how much did I butcher that title? Can you please say it correctly?
You did well. You just have to roll the R's. Sangre Negra.
I can never roll my R's. Oh God!
Or you can say black blood. Yeah.
Now, which one? Negra is black, right?
Yes.
And sangre is blood. Okay,
blood,
fantastic. I love that title, and I love your character name, Pretty Ricky Santos. Love that. Now, Pretty Ricky, now you sure are a pretty little thing. And can I say that, or are you going to sue me, Antonio? You never know what to say. Everything is so PC. Everything's so PC. If I call a guy pretty, they're like, I'm going to sue her. Does she have money? So let's start by telling us, what is the story of Sangre Negra, Black Blood? Who is Pretty Ricky, and what is Pretty Ricky up to in this saga?
So many questions. So little time. Okay. Here's what it is. I am the oldest brother of 3 brothers. However, I am also a bastard. Yes, I'm born outside of the marriage of our father, played by Eric Estrada. Yes.
Stop it! My hotness himself, Eric Estrada. Oh, stop
Eric
it. Go
Estrada
on.
from Pimp Punch. So anyway, he's a wealthy Hispanic gentleman. He writes books. He's a district attorney. He's all sorts of things. He's a really good guy, pretty famous in Los Angeles. One of his sons, his oldest legitimate son, is a lawyer, and then the youngest brother is a policeman.
Ooh.
I'm the middle brother. I'm outside the family, so of course I'm also outside of the law. So we basically have these three Santos who are famous for being law-abiding and, upworthy. Was that a word? No.
Yeah,
trustworthy.
Trustworthy. Yeah. Law-abiding citizens.
Yes. I went a different direction because of various emotional problems and dealing with my father and, a lot of things. He had me outside the marriage when he was really young, forgot about me. Then my mother died and he felt bad. He went and took me off the street and brought me into his home. So, of course, his other kids were like, who is this guy? And one thing led to another. And I always say it's kind of like if the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a bad dude.
I can see that.
Take it from that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now you wrote and produced this series as well. Yes. And what I wanted to point out was that did we not win the 2020 Black and Latino Film Best Actor in an Episodic TV Series Award for your portrayal as Pretty Ricky?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It was funny because I didn't even know I was nominated. Somebody nominated me. So that was fun. I just got a call one day and say, "Hey, you want to come pick up your award, attend our award ceremony?" I said, "Okay, where is it, and what kind of award is it?
Yeah.
Is it legal?" Yeah,
It's
okay.
not one
I'll
of
be there.
my porn awards from a couple years ago
Yeah,
during
exactly.
the 2020 job. Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
And
Well,
then,
you must.
the pandemic hit, so I didn't
Yeah.
get to collect the award till almost 2 years later. But it's okay.
It was before. Oh,
Yeah,
I see. Oh, boy.
yeah.
Well, that is something to look forward to.
There you
Hey,
go.
I got an
Yeah,
award coming.
yeah.
It's
There you
this.
go.
No, you I guess this is asking advice as an actor. I'm going to ask you for a little tip. What did you feel you encapsulated within this character that won that award? Like, what do you think was the one that snagged you as the winner over all the other characters? What did you bring to that character?
I think it's two things. I always tell actors. I also teach acting, so I tell the young whippersnappers, you can approach acting two different ways. You can either approach it from the outside going in, or from the inside going out. In one way, you take a character and you become the character. You become exactly how you think the character will move and talk and walk and communicate. And the other way is you take the character and you make the character yourself. So basically you take all the traits of the character and everything, you put it into yourself, and then you add your own traits to that character. So it becomes well-rounded, but also becomes very comfortable for you as an actor.
Yeah.
And that is the way I've always done it. The other way is more methody. If you know what method acting is, I have never been a big fan of the method acting, which got me in a lot of trouble when I was in acting school. But I always just felt that the actors I admired, people would say they didn't have great range or anything, but as a person who wanted to be a television actor or a movie actor, I looked at the movie stars, like the old time ones, like Paul Newman and Robert Redford, and then one of my idols was always Billy D. Williams. But basically, Paul Newman and Robert Redford in particular, they had a naturalness in front of the camera. So you never felt like they were acting. And that to me is the strength of a movie star. You know, you don't have to go over the top. You just let it be, because they took the characters and made them themselves. So the Sundance Kid was Robert Redford, but Robert Redford was also the Sundance Kid. You see, it all became mixed, and then they put their own brand, your favorite word, on the character. So I always say that somebody else could play Ricky Santos, but they couldn't play it like how I play it.
Right.
See what I mean? They would have to put their own interpretation. So once you put your own interpretation and branding on something, it's hard for somebody to see another person play that role, because you have already branded it. Like
Spock from Star Trek. I can't.
Exactly.
No,
you can't think of anybody other than Leonard Nimoy. You know,
that's right.
And there's certain characters that are just one of my favorite characters is Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. You can't imagine
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, you can't imagine anybody else playing that but Johnny Depp, because
that's right.
He is that character. You know?
Yes.
So
yes, I told Johnny Depp he was going to be an A-list actor.
You did?
He was way back. I first met him. He was doing a movie called Cry Baby.
Oh, yeah.
And I met him at a wrap party at the Tremont Plaza Hotel in Maryland. Wow. And without going into details, my roommate, my college roommate at the time, she used to watch 21 Jump Street and she was obsessed with him. And I don't know how, but her running the nightclub, she ran across this man named Ed Coupe who said that he was Johnny Depp's voice coach. She didn't believe him, but anyway, he said, well, if you don't believe me, I'll invite you to a rap party this Friday night at the Tremont Plaza Hotel. So we went. We didn't have anything else better to do before we went to the club. And sure enough, it was the rap party. And Johnny Depp was there, and we got to meet him and talk to him for like 2 hours, and he was lovely. And that is when I first started. He's one of the first celebrities that I met. But as I've met many, many more, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, one of the things that I feel distinguishes a great A-list actor from a great actor, from a good actor, from a bad actor, I hate to say bad actor, is the eye contact. Exactly. When I met Johnny Depp, when I met Keanu Reeves, when I met Harrison Ford, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, one of the things I started to hone in on is their amazing level of eye concentration. When they are talking to you, there's no one else in the room. They're not looking around. You ever go to a party and you're talking to someone and they're like looking for the next best thing? They're looking, No. What you will notice, and it is a great matter of concentration that you have to be a great actor. And I started noticing that. And as I've met celebrities and become friends with them, even, that is something that they say, look for that. That's how you know. But anyway, I think that another one you left out that I wanted to add in there only because I'm a fan, when you said Paul Newman, and you said, who was the other one? You said Paul Newman. I love, who was the young guy who died in the car crash? James Dean. Yeah. For such a young guy, he was so natural. When I watched him, I really felt he was that character, whatever the character was. And he had no training, from what I understand. No. Anyway, you are absolutely right. Now, when you rock out your characters as an actor to the point where you win an award like you did, do you feel like you have to repeat certain characteristic traits or mannerisms if you're playing a similar character in a future project? Or do you like to just try to create a whole new character? But what if the ones that you won an award, people are like, oh, I love when you did that. What do you do?
Yeah, that is the quagmire that a lot of actors find themselves in. They don't want to be typecast.
Yeah.
But there are pros and cons to being typecast. One of the pros is you will probably work a lot. You know, because there always be a certain part. They say, oh, let's get that guy because they've already seen you in that kind of a part. So anytime a gangster comes up or a mob boss or some playboy comes up, they say, oh, let's get Antonio McKay because he's already played that. But if a part for a king of some
King of
foreign,
Siam.
Yeah, King of Siam comes along and say, well, okay, I don't know if he can play that because we haven't seen him play that before.
Right.
Okay. So it's a two-edged sword. So most actors, and you will find that the actors that people consider, quote, movie stars are not necessarily the people that they consider great actors. I always found that interesting. Like some of my favorite actors were actually movie stars, and people like we mentioned a few of them, but even now Johnny Depp is the exception. Johnny Depp is an actor who changes all the time, and he's also a movie star, but he's also blessed with great bone structure too, which makes him a leading man trapped in the character. You know what I mean? So so he doesn't.
I think you're talking about one. See if you agree with this. one of the actors I feel is an absolute chameleon is Gary Oldman.
Exactly.
People
Right.
are like, who? I'm like, are you kidding me?
And that is the exactly. Gary Oldman is so great, and he's such a chameleon that nobody. But he is also.
They
got
don't even know he's in the damn movie.
Right. He's got the kind of face that he's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a matinee idol face, so it's very pliable, and he can do different things, and it doesn't hinder him or distract the audience. Whereas somebody like Johnny Depp will always. Be, he's always got the look, and even if he covers it up and stuff, he's already become known for that look. Right. That's his brand, So he. But
we're also thinking, oh my God, what's he going to bring to the character? Because we know he's so incredibly versatile as an actor.
Yeah.
Whereas if we see some, which I won't mention, you go, oh God, he's playing that role again.
Yeah. Right.
We know. But then there are, one person that I love. I don't know if you feel the same, but I don't care if they typecast him until doomsday. I love him. It is The Rock.
Oh yeah,
I love The Rock and I love Vin Diesel, and I don't care
what they say about him, right?
Only because I feel like they bring such humor to their characters.
That is what we're talking about. They make the character themselves.
Yeah.
Rock is always going to be The Rock in his characters, but as long as it's convincing,
right,
fine,
Yeah. Now you wrote Sangre Negra.
Mm-hmm.
Sangre Negra. I'm going to work on that. I am. What inspired you to write this series? Because you also produced it as well on the project. But let's talk about, as a writer, what inspired you to write this film? Is it a film or a TV series? TV series, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me go back a few. When I first came to Los Angeles many moons ago, anyway, I got my first gig. I think it was Trapper. Yeah, was it Trapper?
Trapper John MD. Trapper John MD, one of my faves.
Yes, I was on the very last episode that I ever filmed. So I got
the original series. Wow,
of the
remake.
Yeah,
because the original was in the 70s. You would have had the baby.
No, not then. But it was a
remake. I didn't see that one. Okay.
Anyway, so I was in the commissary, and it just so happened that Michael Landon was also filming. It was right before he passed away. It was, he was about to start shooting his new series, Us. It was called Us. Anyway, so I was like, oh wow, that's Michael Landon sitting by himself in a commissary, just eating. I'm like, oh wow. But I was pretty brass and confident and full of myself back then. So I just said, well, I want to talk to this guy. I've been watching him my whole life, so I wanted,
why not?
So I asked if I could sit down. I just sat down next to him, and he talked to me for about 20 minutes. And I was like, wow, I'm actually talking to Michael Landon. But once I got over the starstruck part of it, certain things he said to me, I told him that I wanted to create my own persona. I want to be able to be in control. And the problem with being an actor is you're never in control. You're not, unless you're a superstar.
Yeah.
Then but if you're just an actor, you're controlled by the producer, director, and in some cases even the writer. You're controlled by them.
Right.
So he says, well, why don't you write your own stuff? He said, that's what I did. As soon as he got out of Bonanza, he said, I knew that I had to create my own persona and my own swath. Other than that, I'm going to be Little Joe Cartwright for the rest of my life.
Right.
So, and he did. So what he did was he wrote, produced, and directed Little House on the Prairie. So then he became. People forgot about Little Joe. There's a whole generation didn't even know about Little Joe. And after that, he created Highway. Was it Highway to Heaven?
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah. And then again, he created a character that made people even, was he on Highway? He was on Little House on the Prairie too. Oh yeah, and he was on Bonanza too. Oh wow. So he had 3 series that established him differently. And he was in control of the whole thing because he's a writer and producer, and most of the episodes he was also the director. So I said, wow, I want to do that. He said, sure. He said, if a little Jewish guy like me can do it, you can't do it. That's what he said. Oh, wow.
Oh, I loved him. I loved him. Oh,
yeah, great hair. Great hair.
Oh, my God, didn't he? I know. I wanted to scalp him. Whoa, give me your hair. Now, as producer on the project, how, this is advice for aspiring actors who want to be producers, how can you gain, this is a question I get all the time, how can you gain film production experience without prior film production experience? I mean, especially if you don't have the budget to go to film school, what can you do?
Here's what I would say, because it's the toughest part of producing to me. I found this out. I don't care what anybody else says. It's money.
It is.
So, therefore, if you really want to produce, start off as a producer. I don't care how much money you have, whether you have $10,000, $5,000, $1,000, $200, whatever it is, that's going to be your budget. And if you can only afford to make a little 5-minute film, start off like that, because you are then officially a producer, because you have put it together. You've got actors, you've got a script, you've got a crew, well, even if the crew is somebody holding up an iPhone,
right?
You know, you are now a producer. And then you move up from there. Then you get a little bit more money and you produce a little bigger. And then once people start to see you doing things, they will say, hey, this person knows what they're doing. So I'm going to give him or her some money to do a film. Give him a chance. Give her a chance.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and I hope you agree, Antonio, is that so many actors have that idea. They borrow money from their family, their friends, however they get the money. They start a production and then they run out of money because they don't know how to budget themselves. And it either doesn't get made, or they'll put their credit on IMDB and it stays at the status in production for eternity. I've seen it a million times. And it's very, very, very upsetting to me, because all of these people who did the job, the cast and the crew, who didn't get paid, and they put their time, their effort, their energy, and their hope as it being a vehicle for them. And it's never seen anywhere because it doesn't get finished. Boy, I hate that. I like what you said, how you said, whatever the budget you have, you make the project, even if it's 5-minute film, within the budget constraints. But see, I don't know if you agree with me, but I really think you need to have some business sense. It's called show business. You know, you gotta have an idea. Here's a budget. You got to be able to do, even if it's a simple budget, you got to be able to fit everything into that amount. Or don't do it. Just hold off until you can get more money. But a lot of actors, they just want to, I want it for my demo reel. I want it for my demo. You know, do you agree?
People don't realize that once you say you finish it, I finished filming, you know, okay, congratulations. They don't realize that there's a whole nother post-production process that costs more money. And I find, because I confess, I've been there. I've made that mistake. Run out of money, you film, you think, oh, you take a breath, and then you realize, I got to spend almost as much money on post-production.
That's right.
Now, you have so much competition, you better advertise it. So that's more money. You have to market it. So your budget, if your budget is, even if it's $1 million, you know, believe me, after you finish filming it, you better have another $200,000-$300,000 for post-production. And another $2,000 or $3,000, maybe $500,000 for advertising.
And they don't think about that. It's like they just they have no concept that there is, you got to enter it in film festivals. Film festivals are so expensive. I mean, I think they're running $80 to $120 and up a pop, depending on what film festival it is. And then they waste their money entering their films in film festivals that are not the genre of their film. So it's wasted money because they're not doing the research on business that you really, please people, please do your research before you go running off into the great horizon and trying to make a film, because it is a business and you got to know, even if it's just the basic, you can learn as you go, but don't learn by making so many mistakes you can't get the film made. Because as Antonio said, this is a project, you got your name on it. And if you can get it done, which half of the people don't even get a film done, that is something that you can put on your resume, so to speak, and people will work with you again. That cast and crew go, hey, they got the job done. He did it. Antonio did his best. He entered it in film festivals. I'm going to work for him again.
Yeah.
There you go. Build your Steven Spielberg click.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg click is what I call it.
He works with the same people all the time.
Exactly. And you know why he works with those people? Because those are people that he feels are the most professional. They are the people. And, there's a lot because I worked in theater as well. And I know there's a clique and people like to call it a clique. But honestly, in this business, there are so many flakes, Antonio, that when you find people that actually give you what you want or know what you want or do what you want before you even have to ask them, those are the people you want to keep working with over and over and over and over. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, people you trust.
You trust them and you want to work with people. So make sure that you are a producer, director, actor, or whatever you are that people can trust. Now, you have landed the romantic leads in many films. Obviously, looking at you, we're not going to guess why. But that brings me to my next topic, because you were in films like The Perfect Model, Sweet Perfection, and Proximity. Obviously, being a great-looking person or people, we are expecting that they're going to always book the roles as the romantic leads or the leads. But what do you do if you, we were talking about the stereotype, if you're stereotyped because of your looks for these roles, but you want to do more, you don't want to be necessarily cast for the romantic lead all the time. You want to do more meaty, gritty roles, but your agent, if you are lucky to have an agent, is just sending you out or submitting you for those roles. How do you say, because I have known actors who have said that to their agents, and unfortunately they got dropped, Antonio. They were dropped, or they were labeled as difficult to work with. How do you get around that?
Well, what happens is, you got to know this. Like we were saying, it's show business.
Right.
An agent, he only loves you as long as you can get him his 10%.
That's right.
10%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because other than that, you're useless to them, because you're a commodity. So if he hits you, if you're successful in one genre, like we said before, those are the kind of roles that people are going to call him for, and you're going to get the most money. He's going to say, "Look, I want Tony to play this lead, and I don't want to play that again. I played it before. I want to play something different." So he goes back to him and says, he wants to play this other part. No. We want it for this part. Look, we'll give him this amount of money. And they keep upping the price. And then at that time you say, you know what? I can do it one more time. I can do it one more time. It's funny that you say that, because I know so many actors who are like that. And usually it's a natural progression. Especially, you see a lot of, quote, teen heartthrobs. Yeah. As they grow older, they're no longer relevant, because they're no longer teen heartthrobs.
Right.
So a couple of them, like I said, somebody like Johnny Depp is an exception.
Yeah.
But usually when some of these guys in their late teens, early 20s, by the time they get to be 30, 35, they've shot their wad.
Yeah.
And it's not fair because some of them are great. Yeah, some of them are great actors. I
love it.
I know plenty of them who are great actors. So I'm in a way lucky, but I went through that. I always tell people when I first started in the business, my quote look was very in. All the, everybody looked like in music it was Prince and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And in the TV shows, Miami Vice was big, so I got all these Philip Michael Thomas roles. That so-called pretty boy ethnic look was in. Then Wesley Snipes came along, changed everything. Then all of a sudden they wanted a dark, tougher looking, grittier looking guy. And then my look was no longer the sexy look. So I stopped working. I had to go to Canada to work again. Yeah.
I like Canada. But I know what you're talking about, and that's another thing that you got to really stay on top of as an actor are the trends. You've got to see not only trends with movies, because first there's vampire, and then there's zombie, then there's Transformers, and then everything's trending. So you got to be prepared as far as having a big talent stack. And that means that if you are physically able, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, learn how to fight and do jujitsu and karate and
many different things
swords and keep it, keep you physically fit too. I would imagine as an actor, it's very important. And, you have to be ready because you never know when the trend is going to hit. Right? You want to ride the wave. Exactly. But and not only, believe it or not only those skills, but I'm going to say it, a lot of times casting directors, because I have tons and tons of friends who are casting directors, and they tell me, Priscilla, do you know how hard it is to find an A-list actor who knows how to juggle? And I'm like, what? Juggle? Why would they? I don't want to we don't want to have to hire someone to teach the A-list actor how to juggle. They would love first or juggle or whatever the whatever the skill. That's just an example. But something kind of weird. You ever see like an A-list actor that can do something? Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he was balancing his legs on those two chairs. Well, there's a lot of people who do his style of fighting. They can't do that. Martial arts. They can't do that. But that's an example. So try to have little things, even if you might think they're weird, because you never know when they will need you for that. And just keep adding and adding and adding. And a question on by the way, I didn't tell you this. We're surprising you. We're going to be playing your trailer.
Oh, okay.
We are, right? Hopefully the technical director downloaded it because I wanted to do it. Hopefully he did. But we're going to go to that in 1 second. But learn as many skills as possible. Just as an actor, you really, really have to be on top of it. Now, I wanted to talk to you. We were talking about the romantic leads, and you played a lot. It seemed like you're not only a good-looking man, but you get great character actor parts too, because here it comes. I've been waiting for this. You got a role as the sinister Pimp Sparky in Canada, because you were talking about how you had to go to Canada. In Canada's CBC movie of the week called Runaway. And And apparently you were also rewarded with now you got to tell me what this is. You were awarded with the ACTRA Award for Best Dramatic Performance. So first tell me what ACTRA stands for. I'm not familiar. What is it? Yeah, go ahead.
It's the Association of Canadian Television and Radio Artists.
That makes
Canada's
sense.
version of SAG-AFTRA.
Got it. That makes sense. See, you learn something new every day. There you go. And what do you feel that you learned about yourself after playing this character, Sparky? What do you feel like you really brought to it? You're like, wow.
Well, it was very weird. It was one of those roles where I wasn't what they had in mind. They had a totally different kind of person. When I walked, it was the audition. When I walked in. Luckily for me, I knew because we ran into each other. I knew the actor who went in before me, and I said, "Oh, what'd you do?" He said, "Oh, I did this and that." Typical thing. He told me typical thing, so I knew in my head, okay, I can't go in there doing the same thing as not.
Repeat that.
Because he was a good actor.
But I want you to repeat that because that was such a great tip, Antonio. And I always tell actors when you go into the casting room and you're waiting to be cast, I mean, you're supposed to really not talk to them because they're focused on their lines and stuff. But you know what I say? If somebody's willing to talk, find out. Just like you did, because that's going to give you a leg up. Tell us, Antonio.
Yeah, so I knew this guy. I knew he was a good actor. So I was like, okay, what did you do? And, he was very forthcoming. He told me that I played him like a badass. He's a badass. So I went in there thinking, okay, I'm going to play him like he's more of a suave kind of guy. He doesn't beat women up. He charms them into doing what he wants. He doesn't threaten them with this is all in my head vocally because the script is the script. So there's that part of the script where he grabs her and he throws up against the wall. So I pulled it towards me, and then I whispered the threat to her rather than shout it. And they said, wow, that's different than everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
So I went back and I said, well, they're either going to like it or they did. Luckily for me, they liked it. So they decided to go that way. And there you go.
See, that was perfect. You took a risk and asked the guy, and you knew I wanted. And immediately, because he was in, you said he went right before you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they had already seen that scene, and they were probably expecting the same exact.
I'm sure they had seen it. And no matter what, there's a lot of good actors. Don't let people judge. There's a lot of good actors.
Yeah.
And people don't get roles not because they're not talented. They get roles because they're not different. They don't bring anything. If you see 500 actors and 499 do the same thing, I don't care how well they do it, it becomes boring. So one other guy who may not even be as good an actor, but he did it differently.
Yeah.
They said, I like that.
Yeah. And I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, Antonio, but because this is frowned upon these days, but back in the day, an actor would get the part simply because they walked into the audition. Not only did they actually do a great audition, but they were kind of dressed a little bit like the character would be. Not exactly like, but maybe something, maybe a hat or maybe a certain shirt or something. I really feel like, because I know my friends who are casting directors, they say, I know that's frowned upon, but if somebody walks in and they are actually taking my eye and giving me the character with a shirt or a hat or the way they walk, I personally I'm going to remember that person. Even if they were a terrible actor, I'm going to remember that person really took me at least to the point. So I say, if the character is not terribly overt, I mean, you don't want to go in there with, gauchos and some spurs, right?
I can tell you a funny story. I fell victim to that. I auditioned for a part, and if you read the script, the guy had long dreadlocks, right? I actually later on did have dreadlocks, but at this time I didn't. My hair was like this. And I walked in there, I did the part. They loved it. Oh man, you're really good. We want you to come back. So I was feeling all like, oh man, this is good. I'm almost there. Maybe if I had dreadlocks, I would really put it over. So I went and got myself a dreadlock wig.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. You always want to come to the callback exactly how you were the same way. Yeah.
So I walked in there for the callback, and I did it, and I walked out, and I'm like, they didn't seem as excited this time. And later on, my agent called me, and she was yelling at me, like, what did you do? What did you do? Yeah,
right,
I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought I was going to help, but.
Yeah, and that's a great tip for us to give the audience. Whatever you were wearing, however you did that audition, if you get a callback, it's
same way.
Absolutely do not change, because they called you back for a reason.
For a reason, right? Exactly.
Yeah, they didn't say, "Hey, you gotta see it." Yeah,
if they wanted me to change, they would tell me. Yeah.
Yes, they weren't telling the other people when you came to the callback. Oh my God, Antonio has the best dreadlocks. Wait till you see the dreadlocks.
Exactly.
And you came in there like, what?
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, yeah. So that's our tip to actors. Now, you have also been the guest star in over 35 television shows in both the U.S. and Canada. By the way, Canada has, oh my God, all my Hallmark movies come from Canada. I love Canadian actors. Some of the greats, William Shatner, the Canadian actor.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Okay, there's a ton of people you wouldn't even know.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yes, one of my favorites. So you were in some of my favorite shows, Clueless. Now, are you talking about Clueless with Alicia Silverstone, the movie?
No, I was in the TV series that had everybody. Had everybody in there but Alicia Silverstone. They had Stacey. They all came back, but she didn't do it. They had another girl.
Oh, darn. Oh, I loved her. I love her. I think when I was little, and of course Clueless came out, I was like, my God, can I not look like Alicia Silverstone? Why couldn't I? Oh, I think she's so beautiful. And she still looks great today. She still looks great today. And then you were in Highlander. Well, are you talking about the original with...
Can't remember his name.
I know this is terrible. We can't remember.
I can't remember his name. The one.
We see his face. We see his face, Antonio.
Yeah, it's not the movie with I can't remember his name either, but not the movie with him and Sean Connery. Not that. It was the TV show. It was Shannon.
The TV. Yeah. I know. We're gonna remember that. But
he's a nice guy too. I remember.
Trapper John, MD, you said it wasn't the original. Obviously, you'd be too young. So I did not see that one. Who starred in that one? Trapper John, MD, the remake.
Gregory Harrison, who was in the original, but
he was in the original.
He was more centered on him. After.
I liked him a lot. He was the hot, sexy hunk. His face was all over Teen Beat magazine back in the day. I remember him.
He did a movie about was it the Chippendale murders or something? He did a Chippendale thing before Magic Mike, way before the Magic Mike
back
stuff.
In the day. So, he's a good actor. Oh, now Law and Order. You're talking the original, obviously. Now,
there's so many of them.
I've been watching that since the day it came on. I think it's like 22, 23 years now. I watch all the Law and Orders. What?
Still on. The original still on.
Were you on the original? Who were you?
The one I was on had Benjamin Bratt and...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jerry Orbach. So
Jerry Orbach. Oh my God, my favorite. Oh, I love that man.
Second one. May he rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't
so that
the
was
original. It was like the
second incarnation.
Second
Yeah.
yeah.
They went through a bunch. Yeah. Oh my God. So who'd you play? I have to know, because now I'm going to go back and watch it.
Well, I played a snitch, actually. I played a gangland snitch. Snitching my boy, but I wanted to make sure I was going to get police protection. It wasn't a big part, but it was a big part.
There are no small parts. Now I have to go on IMDb. You're on IMDb for that, so I can find it on my streaming services.
Yeah, you can try. Yeah,
you get credit.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I don't know this. RX. What's RX?
RX was a pilot. It's floating around here somewhere. But
aren't they all?
Yeah, it was. I played a cop who was kind of corrupt. And we just did the pilot, though. It was only like an hour. It didn't get picked up.
We've done so many pilots. Oh my gosh. I had such a great, I played opposite. Oh God. Now I have no interest in ever being an actor, but back in my mentality is, and this is another tip I'm going to tell you guys. If you want to eventually become a film producer or director or executive producer, you really should start from the bottom. And that means that you should be a background actor, because you learn so much about the set. And I just can't recommend it. So anyway, here's
one caveat I would add to that. If you are a background actor, that's fine. If you want to start off that way. But here's what you don't do. Don't be visible. Blend into the background.
Oh, yeah.
Blend into the background as much as possible. Because one thing you think, if I get in front of the camera, people will see me. And no, they will always remember you as a background actor. But if you just stay to yourself, don't be, just do your work and observe.
No. I love that you brought that up, Antonio. I'll tell you why.
Most background actors think the opposite.
They're always trying to step in front of the star, right? And their ass is gone before lunchtime.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is so true. And I'll tell you a story. When I first started out, my very first show that I was a background actor on was I don't know if you remember, it was called Boston Public.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was, Boston Public. It was, and I was just a background extra. I'm like, okay, I'm here to I'm going to the arts and crafts. I was only looking forward to going to the not arts and crafts, craft services, right? Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to get me some good food today. Obviously, you can tell that I'm a great lover of the fork and spoon. So I wanted craft services, right? So I'm like, da-da-da-da-da. So I come back from very, very satisfied with my craft service experience. So I'm doing my scene. Check this out, Antonio. I was just a parent in an auditorium. There were hundreds of people. And I just was supposed to be a concerned parent. So I'm like, well, I'm going to act concerned. And I did. And I could not believe it. When we went on break, who came up to me, put his hand on my shoulder and knew my name, Mark Harmon from NCIS. He said, and he knew my name. He goes, Priscilla, you did a great job. And I was like, what? He even took the time to go to the assistant director and find out my name. Of course, he didn't know my name, but he took the time. And I said, he does that to everyone. So I ended up becoming kind of friendly with the assistant director. And I said, well, how many people does he compliment? That's so nice of him to just tell us background actor. She said, no, you were the only person that he came up. He came up to me and we had to look for your name. And it was very hard to find your name because that list they have. I will never forget that. Sure enough, I got a call was it a month later? Yeah, they were filming another scene. And I got one little tiny line.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So there
one line. I just had to
you're the exception. You're the exception to the rule that I was talking about. It proves the rule. Sometimes you do get lucky. By being that way, you do get lucky.
Well, I was just doing my job because I was supposed to be a concerned parent. So that's amongst 100 of us. Yeah. And you don't think that the director is looking at you, but yes, they are. Yeah. Because that has happened to me several times. I was on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I was just playing a Russian seamstress, and they gave us what we were supposed to do, and I just did my job. And sure enough, Danny DeVito is like, I like what you did. And then, I won't tell you what happened after that. But anyway, he said, Priscilla, I like what you did. And again, if you're a background actor and you're doing your job and you're not trying to be the star and you're not fooling around, they are going to notice you. They are. It will happen. It will eventually happen. Maybe not on that production. It may be 10, but you will get rewarded for your hard work. So that has happened to me so many times.
Don't ever ask the star for an autograph.
Never. If they come up to you, great. But do not do pictures and autographs. Yeah. And there is a perfect example of, there is a girl who, man, I admire her for her. She knows everything there is to know about the business, Antonio. She works so hard at her craft, the acting classes, the headshots, everything, doing her social media. Here's the mistake she makes. And I don't have the heart to tell her because I would have thought she would have figured it out by now after 15 years. She goes up to the stars and gets pictures with them, asks them for pictures. And I feel like telling her, why do you do that? Don't do that. But, it's not my job to tell her what
I tell actors that all the time, because here's what happens. Even if the actor is nice, right away you're a fan. You become a fan. And if you're an actor too, you want to be on the same level. And I don't care if it's Denzel Washington. You got to think you're the same level as that person. But when you go up to him and, hey, may I have your autograph or your picture? Take a selfie with me. Right away, yeah, sure. But then they think that it's just a fan.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I try. Now, when you're on set, if you're working with them, it's a little bit different because then you are part of the family and you are their equal. So then
you've been cast.
Then you can take a selfie. Yeah. But if you just see them somewhere else, don't ever do that.
No, never.
If you want to say something, shake their hand and say, I love your work, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I hate your work, whatever you want to say, but
but
don't ask for a selfie. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Don't do it. But and of course, actors already know, the stars of the show. They already know if you're asking them for a selfie, where is it going to go? It's going to, they're asking so they can say, "Oh, look, I was in a scene with." And they don't respect you. I have celebrity friends, and they say, if anybody ever asks me for a selfie, I will never work with them again. Yeah, and they won't do it. Just don't. They know that it would be a great privilege and honor for you to be in a picture with them, and they will say, "Hey, you want to get a picture?" They will say it if they like you and respect your work. Don't make that mistake. Oh, God, Antonio.
I've seen it so many times.
so many times. And now you are, now that I'm getting to the good stuff, I got to the good stuff, but I wanted to tell you about, you said that you had a recurring role on the late night comedy hit Jimmy Kimmel Show. Tell you a funny thing about that. Back in 1996, my husband and I went to this dive bar with our friend Stuart. And our friend Stuart was friends with Jimmy Kimmel, so we got to meet him. Oh, such a nice person. I only met him that one time. But he was such a nice person. Flash forward, when I'm doing my background acting, I had an opportunity to do a skit on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Now, I believe it or not, I turned it down because I didn't like exactly, what I would have to have done. I did turn it down, but there are times when, even as a background actor, you have to think about, well, in the future, is this going to be pulled up on YouTube? Or is this going to be pulled up? I mean, I'll just tell you, they wanted me to be in a Jimmy Kimmel doing a skit with me in a grocery cart. And I didn't want to get in a grocery cart. I just thought it was silly, particularly. And I thought, well, that was way back before YouTube and all of that. But today, you really have to worry about, don't just take anything just because you get a call and they want you to do something. If it's weird and you think it's going to, if you do think you're going to someday become a star, it's going to come out. Yep. Look at all the stuff. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So many different things. Actually, it's funny. I played three different characters on Jimmy Kimmel. You're going to not laugh. Maybe you won't laugh. Anyway, twice I played Michael Jackson.
You got the skills to do the moonwalking. Okay.
And once I played Prince.
See that?
And the other time I played some lover guy, But yeah, those were my time. He kept calling me back to please. I'm like, wow, this guy likes me.
Yes, we're going to get. I'm sorry, I was interrupted for the trailer. I keep getting bugged. Boy, are we going to play the trailer? We are, but we're having such a great time. Yes, we are playing the trailer. Exceeded 1 hour. That's okay. I'm talking to Antonio. I will go 2 hours if I want to. But you know what? So, by the way, we're going to say this, and then cue up the demo. Is it the demo reel? I think 3 minutes. I think it's the teaser. I think we're playing the teaser from the movie. Yeah. But I wanted to end it with saying that you had said Billy D. Williams early in the show, and I can see that you look so much like Billy D. Williams. So I'm sure that you get that a lot, right?
Yeah, that's my compliment, because he's the one who actually, not him personally, because I've never met him, which is one of the things that bothered me. I met almost everybody else in Hollywood, but the main guy I wanted to meet, and now he's 80-something years old, is Billy D. Williams, because my parents took me to see. I mean, I always wanted to be an actor, but I wanted to be one of those, the Cary Grant type. And I never would see actors who looked like me, or even whether they were Black or whether they're Latino. I never saw them who looked like me and had my attitude and stuff, till my parents took me to see that movie, Lady Sings the Blues. And I said, dude, finally, you see a guy that you want to emulate, and it's masculine, but he's suave and he's that was a movie star. And
I loved him in that movie. I remember that because I was a tiny baby, and I only I got snunk in the movie because my cousin wanted to make out with her new boyfriend. So I got snunk in the movie, and I had to sit way in the front while they were in the back. But I will never forget that movie, because I thought, wow, of course you had Diana Ross singing, was it Mahogany? Do you know we're going to?
Yeah. That was the next one they did.
And I said, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, was that I don't remember what it was. I was like maybe 4 or 5, but still. Yeah. So we have come to the point where we're going to show the trailer for wait a minute, I should be really good at it now. Negra sangre. Negra sangre.
Sangre negra.
Sangre negra. Damn! I thought I was rolling the R's and okay, but we're going to show, it's a 3-minute trailer, and when we come back, we are going to finish with Mr. McKay by him giving us just a couple more tips, and we're going to talk about his upcoming projects. We're going to wait, I'm getting a note. I'm on a roll. I'm getting a note. Wait. Getting a note. What is the note? what? Trimmed. Oh, trimmed to 1:30. Oh,
They trimmed it. Okay. Well,
they trimmed it. Well, all right. So, how are you going to let me know when you're ready? Hello? Okay. Well, we're going to watch this
Meet my
I guess we'll watch
partner and benefactor.
Watch it
Miss
right
Christina
now.
Sabatini.
I think Sabatini's on to us.
Only one way to find out.
Holy shit!
I've been around for a long, long year. Stole $1 million, man. Sold free. I watch with you while your kings and queens fought for 10 decades. From the gods they made. I shot down, killed the Kennedys. And after all, it was you and me. Please introduce myself.
That leaves you, Mr.
Tony D'Angelo.
No, you tell Sabatini
You just got hit.
by the Sangre Negra gang.
Sangre Negra.
Sangre Negra. Sangre Negra. Black blood.
Black blood.
I like that.
Wow! Oh my God, Antonio! I'm so excited! I want to see it! I want to see it! I want to see it! Where can we see it?
Well, you can see it's right on It's on Amazon and Tubi right now.
Oh, so there we go. People, go to Amazon and Tubi. Now, when I got the notes, it had said that the first 4 episodes were on there, and that 4 more were coming. Have they been put up yet, or
The 4 more are completed. They're in post-production right now. So sometime later on this year, you're going to see them.
All right. And how would we know when they're going to be posted?
Well, we're going to go on, first of all, social media. And hopefully by that time, we're going to have billboards praying. But it's all about the money.
I know. Yeah. But that is...
shows like yours will help us out,
Yes. As a matter of fact, make sure that you have your PR person send me an email so that I can promote it like the week before it goes out so we can blast it out. But this is a perfect opportunity.
Beatrice the one.
Yes, Beatrice, Miss Beatrice Davis. But if you want to stay tuned to what Antonio's doing, again, his social media sites he's on IMDB at Antonio McKay. He's on Instagram at AntonioMcKayOfficial, Facebook Antonio McKay. And what about YouTube? Is it the name of the show, or you have your own channel?
We have the name of the show is on there. But I'm going to have my own channel starting in about a month or so.
Okay. Yeah, get your channel up so we can subscribe. And that looks so good. I can see that sexy girl. I don't know. Maybe that's a plus being a producer.
Oh, yeah. There's always a plus. You get the cast, yeah.
That's right. You get the cast, too. Now, what are some of your upcoming projects? Some upcoming films? This might be old, but I have Forbidden, The Eye of Ra, and the Swashbucklers, The Privateer, and Count of Capistrano, as well as second season. Okay.
Yeah.
So are those still applicable?
Let's start with the last first, because that's Sangre Negra. So we finished the second 4 episodes. So the next thing I'm working on is writing the next season. So So hopefully that will be the first thing. That's the main thing I want to work on. And then the Count of Capistrano. I've always been, when I was a little kid, everybody else was dressing up as Spider-Man or Batman or Superman. I was always Zorro. I always liked Zorro. He was my favorite. So every time I was captivated, and I love the movie. The movie with Antonio Banderas is actually my favorite movie of all time. It was like the perfect movie to me.
Z.
Yes, exactly.
It's just Z, yeah.
Yeah. I have teamed up with a friend of mine named Daryl McKenna, and he is a Zorro expert. And I wrote this premise. I'm going to try to develop it with him. And he also is my writing partner for The Quest of Ra, which is sort of a Indiana Jones, a female Indiana Jones, actually. We're looking at Kate Beckinsale, hopefully. That's who we're going after.
Love her.
That is the next one. And then Forbidden is something I started many moons ago. And actually, we were just about to get money for it. And then the money fell through. And then we were so irritated, we said, we got to write something. So myself and the co-producer, who was also the director of Sangre Negra, decided, let's just write something. And we wrote Sangre Negra. It started off as a web series. It was going to be like 10 minutes. We wrote it. And then we got, hey, this is pretty good. Let's widen it up. But we need somebody to play your dad. Who's going to play the dad? I said, I don't know. I didn't want any old looking decrepit guy with a big paunch and bald head. You want somebody who still has something left. I said, Eric Estrada still looks good. And he's got that joie de vivre. Yeah.
Yeah, joie de vivre.
So we called him.
That was huge. Getting Eric Estrada.
Yeah. So
huge.
Yeah. And that's how that started. So but Forbidden is a pet project of mine. I've gone from playing one character. Another thing you do, if you're a writer, you have this ability to write good characters. When I wrote this thing, I realized, okay, I have myself playing this one character, and if everything goes right, I'll be perfect for this one character. But I had another character in there that was just as good, but he was older.
Yeah.
So the fact that I didn't get to make the movie when we wanted to, now I've reached the age where I can now play the older character. So it's okay. So I keep myself going, And then there's another character actually who I wanted Billy D. Williams to play. Hopefully I won't, I can make it long. I won't have to play that character.
Exactly. That's a great tip. Hey, if you don't have anything to do and you're a writer, write something for when you're a senior citizen because you'll have it in your back pocket because you never know.
You never know.
That's a great tip. I love that. The last question. Now, this is a question that is going to take some thought, but it's always a question that I think I like to surprise a guest with because it shows how on their toes they are about a self-introspective perception. Okay, so here's the question. Antonio, what advice would you give to yourself if you could go back in time when you decided to work in the entertainment industry? Excuse me.
You know what advice I tell you? And this is the honest truth.
You're telling yourself.
I'm telling myself, okay.
You're telling yourself.
Finish law school.
That's my plan B, right?
Yeah. That's my plan B.
Really great advice.
But I was so ultra confident that I knew what I wanted to do that much to my parents' chagrin, I dropped out and pursued it. But now, in retrospect, I realized I could have still finished it and still been an actor, but I would always have that in the back pocket.
Yeah.
I could always do that, So that's
I'm
one of my one regret.
Said that. Yeah, because not just a lawyer, you could have been an entertainment attorney.
Yes, exactly.
If the career didn't work out, you could have, done they make a lot of money.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah, so let's give that tip. Hey, if you are on the fence and you're going to law school, why not be an entertainment attorney? It's still within the field. I always like to tell people, always start out in life, or tell your children to have 3 plans: Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C. Plan A is your dream career. Oh, I want to be a star. 2, I want to be kind of a star. That's Plan B. That's a job. Plan C is like, okay, I can pay my damn bills, and I can keep acting as a hobby. Because you will always be able to write, be a screenwriter or an actor or a producer as a hobby. Even if it doesn't work out for you at Plan A. You can still, I mean, that's the consistent factor. You got to be able to pay your damn bills. I mean, you can't be out being a hoe bag on Sunset Boulevard for the rest of your life.
No, you can't do that. I know people have tried, but
I know.
After a while,
oh God, you're so funny, Antonio, because I was thinking about a couple too that I. But they're like, well, I gotta pay the bills. I mean, I'm like, no, don't do that. So one of them, true story, one of them ended. I will never, ever, ever say her name. She ended up becoming her Plan C.
Oh shit!
She ended up becoming a fetish.
Oh man.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, well, okay. Well, I don't know if we're going to get Antonio back, but to end my story, the person ended up becoming a fetish, a person who, what did they call them? Oh my God, a person who is into fetish stuff. I don't even know the title of it. So anyway, Antonio's frozen in time, which, I mean, if you're going to be anything, be frozen in time is a great memory. And we thank you so much for tuning in to our very first show. See, I'm looking over here, looking over there. I'm putting out a plea. Please, Apple people, please put a camera in the middle so we don't have to look to the right, look to the left. I don't know where the hell the damn camera is. Put a camera in the middle so we know where to look. All right. But I think we had a great show for the very first one of the new year 2024. Yeah. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much. Please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, no big deal. We'd love for you to subscribe because every week we're going to have fantastic guests and we're going to have lots of fun. My thing is, we want to have fun because life is just too damn serious. I mean, you have to be serious, but not all the time. But if you don't want to subscribe, then at least like the video that Antonio was on today and go to his channels and please subscribe. Again, Antonio McKay, and that's Antonio McKay, McKay, and he is on IMDB, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. With YouTube, he has go to Sangre Negra, Black Blood, SANGRENEGRA, Black Blood. There you go. And we are going to sign off. And I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I had so much fun. Thank you. We're going to see you next week. Go to my website, questionrealityradioshow.com, to check out who's going to be on next week. We'll see you next week. Bye.